All right, here I am at Mechapix Productions. I've been working on spec scripts for the past decade, and finally, I have convinced a major producer to meet with me. There's got to be something in this binder full of ideas that the producer will like. I've made it this far. All I've got to do now is pitch one good idea that he wants to give the green light to, and I'll have it made. First, I'll get into the Writers Guild. Then, I'll get a screen credit creator. My name will be on Internet Movie Database. And then, who knows? The Emmys, the Golden Globes, the Academy Awards. And I already know that if I do win an award, I will have to keep my speech short so that darn orchestra doesn't play me off before I've finished. Maybe I'll make a grand entrance like Roberto Benigni did when he was Best Actor for Life is Beautiful. Once I receive the nomination, I'll be sure to practice walking on top of the theater chairs so that I don't become an embarrassing YouTube sensation by face planting into Jack Nicholson's lap. And then I'll give a speech about my humble beginnings, the short films I made in the backyard using my parents' old VHS camera, and how sometimes I would dress my little brother up in my mother's clothes if I was in desperate need for another actress. I'll move the audience to tears, but one thing at a time. First, I've got to deliver the perfect pitch.
Brenda, the producer will see you now.
Okay, it's go time. Good morning. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Take a seat. You've sent me 22 query letters in the past week.
I'm very persistent.
Persistent, annoying, whatever you want to call it. But I also got a call from your screenwriting professor over at UCLA, and he told me that you have some of the most original ideas for film and TV he's ever heard. I owe him a favor for getting me on board to co-produce Avatar, so I thought I'd give you a chance.
Thank you so much for your time. You really don't know how
And
much
time is money, so I'll give you a Hollywood minute to sell me on one of your projects.
You won't regret this, I promise.
What have you got to pitch me?
Well, for starters, I was thinking, why not go back to the origin of the movies, the silent picture?
Sounds a bit risky, but go ahead. Sometimes art films sell. The 2011 film, The Artist, did very well. What's the plot?
Well, it all starts off in a Hollywood mailroom where a young go-getter is trying to make a name for himself in this rat race of a world we call life. He's just a lowly mail clerk at a production company, but he has dreams, much, much bigger dreams. Someday, he's going to be a star.
A silent film about a guy sorting mail? Sounds riveting.
Well, it's not long until he comes across a letter addressed to him. It's a letter from his father.
You're putting me to sleep.
But his father died at the Titanic, or so he thought.
The Titanic has been done to death.
Did I say Titanic? I meant the Lusitania.
World War I doesn't sell. World War II is where the money is. But again, it's been overdone.
Actually, his father died in a golfing accident.
Golfing accident?
Yep, he hit a ball into the water hazard and went in to retrieve it, but was eaten by an alligator.
What?
It was a golf course in the Florida Everglades.
I mean, were there any witnesses? How do they know his father died?
Well, yes, there was a witness, the father's golfing buddy. But his golfing buddy was blind, so he just thought he heard the alligator eat the mail clerk's father, when in fact, the mail clerk's father ate the alligator.
Whoa, 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 whoa. This is getting a bit absurd. What else have you got?
A documentary?
Not a big moneymaker, but documentaries can create social change and create Oscar buzz. The Cove shed light on whale hunting, and Inconvenient Truth made audiences question climate change. Super Size Me made Americans think about their diet. All right, what's your topic?
The Dixon Ticonderoga.
Come again?
You would be amazed at how often we take for granted the number 2 pencil. For instance, did you know?
Preferred pencil throughout the United States for standardized testing. This very pencil could help a high school student achieve a perfect score on the SAT, thus guaranteeing entrance into an Ivy League school where that student might one day study medicine and then go on to find the cure for cancer. Now all started with the number 2 pencil.
You're losing me.
Hold on, there's more.
There are many fallacies about today's number 2 pencil. For example, did you know that lead is no longer used in pencils, but was instead replaced by graphite in the Roman Empire? This graphite is a much less toxic substance. Sometimes lead poisoning did occur, most often because writers were chewing on the paint, which up into the 1960s contained large amounts of lead. The average size of eraser is 3/16 of an inch, and the wood surrounding the graphite is painted a very specific shade of yellow so that a student can find it at the bottom of their untidy backpack. Come with us on an incredible journey as we follow the fascinating lifespan of a single number 2 pencil, from factory, classroom, store to...
Next.
Okay, not a fan of the pencil documentary? There goes 2 years of my life.
I'm more of a pen guy myself.
Ballpoint or fountain?
I use Sharpies.
I haven't researched felt tips yet.
Let's move on. What else have you got?
Here we go. Adaptations are all the rage these days. From toys to comic books to board games, a movie adaptation is often the next summer blockbuster.
You're right. Transformers, the Smurfs, the multiple Batman franchises.
They even made a movie out of the board game Battleship.
All right, this is the kind of stuff I'm looking for. But I must warn you, almost every toy, game, and superhero has already been pitched and purchased by Hollywood production companies. Even if you got a script for Gin Rummy or Checkers a Musical, I'm gonna have to pass.
Oh no, of course not. I thought ahead. I'm an innovator. I bet there's one game no one has written a script for.
Really?
I'm positive.
All right, pitch it to me.
One, 2, 3, 4. I present Thumb War, the motion picture. The tradition of Thumb War has become an international phenomenon, beating out child's play decision makers like rock, paper, scissors, and flipping a coin. In the not too distant future, everyone from gamblers to major corporations to the Supreme Court will decide the fate of the world by playing Thumb War. It has become such a huge industry that televised Thumb War matches are fought monthly in Vegas and bring in millions of dollars in revenue from pay-per-view purchases throughout the world. The current reigning champion is the evil Stalin von Adolf. He's a former KGB communist Nazi terrorist, Raiders fan.
You lost me. Raiders fan?
Yeah, those guys are jerks.
Fair enough.
But our protagonist was raised in the slums of Hell's Kitchen. He's an all-American kid, and his name is Thumbo.
Thumbo?
Yeah, we can work on the name.
Yes, we can.
Over the course of the film, we'll build up to the epic thumb battle of the century. Thumbo is out there training day in and day out, doing push-ups, climbing the steps of favorite government buildings, sparring out work with frozen chicken McNuggets.
This is starting to sound like another
then-
film called...
In the third act, we get to the epic thumb battle.
1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a thumb war.
It looks like Thumbo was going to lose, but his corner man,
The Thumb has a corner man?
yeah, a girl's little Pinky named Pinky.
I like the name. Unique.
Pinky pumps our protagonist up with the speech of a lifetime.
Listen, Dumbo, your mother left you, and you were just a little phalange. But now, you're full-grown dumb. You got hair on your knuckles and everything. You need to win this, not just for the good of the country, but you can finally put a diamond on that ring from you David's high school.
You're right, Pinky. I gotta win this one for the world and for the love of my life.
The next round begins.
1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a thumb war.
The thumb battle is on. And in the end, Thumbo reigns supreme.
I'm the king of the world.
You did it, Dumbo, you did it.
The United States is stronger than ever. Democracy reigns supreme. And everyone goes home feeling like $1 million.
USA! USA!
I've already got a sequel plot
I
out where...
said
We'll just let that one sink in.
No.
I'll put it in the maybe pile. Oh, you're gonna love this.
Somehow I doubt that.
It's a reality show.
Cheap to produce, small crew, exploits the lives of real people, plenty of drama and tension. All right, what have you got?
I call it Going Postal.
This actually sounds intriguing.
Every week, we'll follow the riveting lives of postal workers.
My name's Arlene, and I've been a postal worker for 7 years. I work some of the meanest streets in Palm Springs. You may think working in this desert community of retirees would be a piece of cake compared to delivering mail in places like Detroit or Chicago, but you'd be wrong. Try delivering a motorized wheelchair to the crazy cat lady over on Ladybug Lane. That's when reality smacks you right in the face.
The drama is about to get extreme.
You let one of those cats out by accident and crazy cat lady will call your supervisor. And believe me, the last thing you want is to be reprimanded by the Palm Springs Postmaster General.
So, we had a complaint.
I knew it.
It was the crazy cat lady. She said you let one of her cats out.
It's so hard maneuvering one of those huge motorized wheelchair boxes into her house without letting at least one cat getting loose.
I hear you. Just try not to let it happen again.
Woo! That was extreme. I gotta be more careful or I might just get the axe. And I can't get fired. I mean, I've got a mortgage to pay.
And then the next week, they run out of airmail stamps.
Were you sent here to punish me?
What?
I outbid Steven Spielberg for a script once back in 1989. Is this some sort of practical joke he's pulling?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Going postal? That was your pitch for a reality show?
Oh, that's just one of the many. I've also got one called Would You Like Fries with That? Featuring real footage from a drive-thru window at 2 in the morning. Then there's What's Up? A series all about clouds. And for our female viewers, I've got one entitled It Could Get Hairy, all about waxing.
Stop. Just stop. No more reality shows. At all. You got anything else?
Boy, do I. Who would have thought that primetime game shows would ever come back into style? With the popularity of Minute to Win It, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and Deal or No Deal, the market is begging for more original content.
All right, even you can't screw this up.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, those shows are based on such simple concepts.
Tell me about it. This next pitch is a guaranteed moneymaker. My game show opens with a flashy host.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Edge of Your Seat episode of Guess What I Just Ate for Dinner. You loyal viewers all know how it works, but just in case this is your first time tuning in to this primetime phenomenon, I'll explain the rules. Randomly selected audience members come up on stage and blow into the faces of our contestants. If they can guess what the audience member ate for dinner based on their breath, they can win $1 billion. First up, we have a truck driver from Memphis, Tennessee. Let's give a hand for Bubba Lyons.
Contestants are supposed to sniff random people's breath?
Oh, there's much more to it than that. They've also got 3 lifelines. Like, they can ask the audience member to belch, they can use a piece of floss to pick out food particles and examine them under a microscope, or they can even view a sonogram of the audience member's stomach.
Oh, I just threw up a little.
Vomiting is technically not allowed, but...
The only reason you're still here is because I'm fascinated by how badly this is going.
Really?
Yes, really. I have a full schedule of writers coming in for the next 10 hours to pitch me their new ideas for television shows and movies. And the longer I listen to you, the more I realize my day can only go up from here.
Thanks.
Okay. What else do you have for me, my little psychopath?
Well, who doesn't love a period piece?
Go on.
And not just a period piece, but a period genre. You weren't too keen on my silent movie idea, but I've got a new spin on the 1940s film noir that will knock your socks off.
And I doubt that.
We open in a private detective's office.
Of course. Where else?
was a dark and stormy night, just like every other night in the city of broken dreams and broken hearts. I was reading the late edition of the Post, skimming over the same old stories they always print. Stories that were as tired as a fat guy who just ran 16 blocks after an ice cream truck in the middle of summer.
Great analogy.
I know.
It was a quiet night, a little too quiet, but you know what they say, there's always a calm before the storm. And I could tell by the intensity of the calmness that a Category 5 hurricane was headed straight for my door.
Intensity of the calmness? Isn't that an oxymoron?
Are you calling me names?
No, it's a rhetorical device, like a paradox.
Oh, you mean like two places to park a boat?
Oh my gosh. Never mind.
Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. And by knock, I mean the doorbell rang. I had it installed because it made me feel more at home. And considering the amount of time I spent in my office, it practically was my home. Come in. She had a pair of legs that went all the way to the floor. They're as long as my great-grandma's stories. And just like my granny's stories, they repeated themselves. Twice, to be exact. What I'm saying is, she had two legs.
Really clever, huh?
No.
She smelled like trouble, and I could smell trouble from a mile away. But I like the smell of trouble. To me, it kind of smelled like skunk. It's strange. But I do like the smell of skunk.
Tell me this gets better.
Don't you ever just pull over to the side of the road when you smell a skunk and take a deep breath?
No.
Never?
Never.
It takes me back to my childhood. You want to know?
No.
Are you the detective?
That's what it says on the door, sweetheart.
I have a situation on my hands.
It's not your hands I'm worried about. It's your life.
How did you know?
Her heart was beating faster than a fat guy's who just ran after an ice cream truck in the middle of summer.
Stop. Just stop.
I'm still working on the dialogue. It does get a bit repetitive.
You don't say.
We could hurry along and pick up in the second act where he finds out.
Film noir is dead. Do you have anything more modern?
Oh, I'm picking up on what you're laying down.
Oh, I highly doubt that.
Science fiction, that's the ticket.
The chances of you pitching me a halfway decent idea would be science fiction.
Good one.
I wasn't joking.
Thousands of years from now, on a distant planet, we meet an escaped prisoner named 24601.
Did you recently see the new staging of Les Miserables?
How did you know?
I'm psychic.
Really? Can you predict when I'll win my first Oscar?
Yep, never.
Oh. I guess I'll just have to settle for a Golden Globe. I can always focus on the small screen. I've shot a couple commercial specs.
I usually don't deal in those. They're only lucrative in events like the Super Bowl.
Then I've got something right up your alley.
What's it for? A flashy new cell phone, a manly truck, a new website?
Better, it's for a product that doesn't even exist yet.
You may not know how this works, but usually commercials are advertising items that are already available to the public.
Oh, but don't worry. I've got this product patented. Once my investors come through, we'll have the shelves stocked, and this commercial can start airing.
I love water. I mean, it really keeps me hydrated when I'm working out, but sometimes I need something with a little more flavor.
The bland taste of water.
Yeah,
Sports drinks just too sweet for you?
they sure are. I wish there was a sports drink for the athlete who enjoys savory over sweet.
Put a little flavor in your old workout routine with H2 mayo.
Wow, I love the taste. The combination of eggs and oil give me a boost of energy to go that extra mile.
Mayonnaise. It's not just for sandwiches anymore. Push yourself over the edge with H2 mayo.
Get it? Instead of H2O, it's H2 mayo? Pretty clever, huh? Am I right?
You say this is patent pending?
Yep. got the paperwork right here. Can you believe I'm the first girl to ever market mayonnaise as a sports drink?
Yep, pretty amazing no one thought of it before.
I know. You want to know a little secret?
I'm not sure.
I'm marketing it as a sports drink when really I just want people to get over the stigma of eating mayonnaise all by itself. I mean, come on, we all do it. You wake up at 2 in the morning to pee and you gotta walk by the fridge for a fingerful of mayo. Am I right?
No, you're wrong and a little disturbed.
Come on, you never get an early morning craving for mayonnaise?
Never.
Mid-afternoon snack attack?
No.
Just a spoonful of mayo help the medicine go down? I get you. You're just embarrassed to admit it. That's fine. But once H2 mayo hits the shelves, we won't have to hide our dirty little secret any longer.
Well, this has been interesting. That about wraps it up.
I have an idea for a sketch comedy show. Yeah.
Those have been done to death. They're really just a bunch of scenes stuck together by a group of hack writers who can't form a cohesive storyline. Just like this meeting, sketch comedy might be perfect for you.
I knew it.
But it's got to have a twist.
Not a problem. I call it suspended animation. And it's all from the point of view of inanimate objects.
And you lost me again.
Honey, I'm home.
How was work?
Lousy.
What's wrong, honey?
Some of my coworkers just get me so bent out of shape.
Do you want to talk about it?
I'm just afraid I'm going to be replaced. The human that works in my cubicle just got a new stapler. What if I'm redundant?
He's got a staple remover too, doesn't he?
Yeah?
But there's no paperclip remover, is there?
I guess you're right.
Plus, you're reusable.
Gosh, I love you. You're so beautiful.
Oh, go on.
No, I mean it. You've got more curves than J-Lo.
No.
You've got more curves than Lombard Street.
It's the curviest street in America. It's in San Francisco.
I know.
You've got more curves than a triple integral.
It's a mathematical equation that creates a shape.
Do you have to explain it to me? It's not funny.
I got my minor in math.
I don't care.
All the boys in my advanced calculus study group seemed to like it.
I'm sure they did.
I had a ton math-related pickup lines.
And I don't want to hear them.
Hey, baby, you're sweeter than 3.14. Well, what if the paper
This whole concept isn't funny. Maybe it's time you go.
Okay, you don't want funny? That's fine. We can do something serious with the Paperclip family. I have a very important after-school special written about bullying.
What is it, darling?
It's about Billy. There was an incident at school.
What kind of incident?
He got in a fight, and it's just too horrible to say.
Billy, you get in here right this minute. My boy, my baby boy.
Don't look at me, I'm afraid.
I'm so sorry. It's just so sad. Paperclip on paperclip violence needs to stop.
Paperclip on paperclip violence? What does that even mean?
Well, it's supposed to be an analogy meant for, yeah. Even I don't know where that one came from. Sometimes I dream about an idea for a TV show, and it seems like a good idea until I write it down on paper. Oh, here's one that's very current. It's a cooking show.
Not a lot of money in those. You mainly have to depend on your sponsors.
It's not your average cooking show. It's aimed at eating on a budget during these tough economic times.
This actually sounds promising. I can definitely see there being an audience for this.
Welcome to Hobo Cooking with me, Chef Hobo.
isn't the term hobo offensive?
Chef Homeless?
Seriously?
We could call him something more uplifting, like, Urban Camper.
This is the only cooking show where we focus on recipes first conceived during the Great Depression. Today we're going to start with what was commonly called poor man's stew.
Watch closely. These are all authentic recipes I found on the internet.
Yes, when I want to make sure something's authentic, I trust the internet.
That's right.
To make poor man's stew, you start with a potato. You take a knife, or if you don't have a knife, the sharpened lid of a tin can, and chop the potato into chunks. And there you have poor man's stew.
Not really fine dining, is it?
That's the beauty of the show. Anyone can make it.
But would they? I mean, it's a potato cut up and put into a bowl.
Originally, I had him eating out of his shoe.
Yeah, the bowl was an improvement. But it needs something else.
We could add some garnish.
Dutch bowl, sometimes condiments were hard to come by on the road to California, but you'd be amazed at how much flavor can be found in your own body.
I don't like where this is going.
Feel the need to clean out your ears? Don't throw away that precious wax. Just roll it up and sprinkle it on your poor man's stew for a zesty bit of
Stop. Please stop. Ugh, you are amazing.
Thank you.
Just when it can't get any worse, it does.
Well, sodium can also be found in
How
other
do you
fruits.
even know this? Were your parents normal? Did they drop you on your head?
I was just really looking forward to this. I've always wanted to write for the industry, and maybe I pitched a couple of ideas that still needed a little bit of work.
A little?
Okay, a lot.
Do you have anything left? I mean, anything truly worth my time?
Well, I have been holding back this one very special idea.
These have all been very special.
You mean that?
Oh yeah, I don't think I'll ever forget this pitch session. Go ahead. Shoot. Last pitch.
Well, it's this movie about the movies.
Seen it. Ed Wood, Singing in the Rain, Sunset Boulevard, Swimming with the Sharks. It's been done.
I know. What if it were about a guy, a struggling writer, who sits down with a producer and pitches him every idea that he's ever had since he was 14 and saw his first Tarantino film. But the pitches are awful, and it just gets more funnier and more absurd until the producer just can't take it anymore.
I love it.
It could all play out on stage while they go over pitch after pitch, and we could call it the pitch.
Brilliant. Have an outline on my desk by Monday.
Now, where the heck am I going to find the material for this movie?